So I've just finished watching The Long Walk by Francis Lawrence, and holy hell, that is a movie. It might actually be my favorite movie of the year. It touches on a lot of things that are taking place in America right now. This was written by Stephen King under his pseudonym about 20, 30 years ago, and it is phenomenal. The acting is so on point, I can't even describe it. Watching the reactions of people at the cinema, sort of showed exactly how hard and brutal this is. This is one of the most brutal movies I think I've seen. It really grabs you by everything and pulls you in because, like I say, the acting is amazing. Um, what's it about? Well, this is set in a sort of near future of America, not that far away, I would say, looking at what's going on over there with Trump, um, where a kid, a male, basically joins a walk, and there's 50 states, so 50 people who have to do this walk, and the last person surviving gets a wish and lots of money. And so along the way, these people talk, they bond, they become friends, etc. And yeah, I never thought that a movie with people walking would be so engrossing. Obviously, there is a lot of violence in this because people do get killed. Well, 49 of them do. And they get killed in very graphic ways. This is a very fucking graphic movie. So do not go in there unless you really do expect gore, like a kind of almost like a gore porn movie, in fact, because it's so brutal. So the two main leads are Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. You'll recognize David Johnson as one of the chaps that was in Alien Romulus. One of the few good things about the movie. Actually, that's a lie. That movie wasn't terrible. And of course, Mark Hamill, who is the general in this movie. And everyone, of course, makes a huge thing about Mark Hamill being in this because of Mark Hamill. But he's not a lead. He's not even worth really mentioning when you've got David Johnson and Cooper as the lead, because they are literally phenomenal, red hot talent. I think in 5-10 years these guys are going to be walking away with Academy Awards stuffed in their pockets because they are so good. Obviously not going to go into sort of spoiler territory, but the relationships between the chaps develops throughout the movie, and they become friends, etc. Not just the two, but there's a whole bunch of other people too. And they are very believable. That was really believable. And the sort of, I suppose, the indifference to death or the weight of life in this movie is kind of like what's going on in America right now when things aren't that important. Someone disappeared by ICE, somebody who is murdered by the cops. No one cares. Life is very cheap over there. You'd expect this in a country, as Trump would say, once mentioning him again, as a shithole country. But this, like I say, is set in a future where America has crumbled. They've had a huge war. Their economy is destroyed. Oh, it sounds like 2025. Well, yeah. But this movie is good. It is so well made. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some Oscar nods as far as the screenwriting or screenplay is concerned. The music is incredibly well done, very subtle. And the cinematography is really, really amazing. And it's brutal. I think I've mentioned that once before, but it really is. I'm kind of shell-shocked with some of the shots that I've seen in this. You don't really expect that in a movie like this. You expect, people being murdered and stuff, but you don't expect to see things. But yeah, really good. It's a shocking movie. You're not going to walk out of there smiling like it's a Pixar movie, but it's worth watching because this is not just a warning. This is from 30 years ago. This is what's happening right now in certain parts of the world, and it's worth heeding lessons from art. Wow, to me this is an easy 9 out of 10.